Everyone, welcome back. My name is Lewis Pike. Today I'm going to do a video. Actually, I'm going to do an update of my Robinhood portfolio. I started this portfolio back in February of this year, and I had a goal of want to by the end of the year at least have about $10,000 in this portfolio. Anyway, I haven't did an update on the portfolio since I first started it. Want to give you guys an update of where the portfolio is at, how much I've invested, what stocks I've invested in, and how it's performing as far as growth and dividends. So let's jump into the video. Real quick before we jump to the video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That really helps with the algorithm. And if you're getting some value out of this video, please share it with anyone you think it can help. All right, let's jump over to the phone and go through the portfolio. All right, so I have my portfolio pulled up here, and we're just going to go through it real quick. And I'm going to just talk about what I've invested, how much I've invested. As you can see right here, so far year to date, I set my goal is I want to have about $10,000 invested in this portfolio by the end of the year. So far, the total balance of the portfolio is about $6,192.22. Some of that is growth. As you can see today, it jumped up $107, but I want to have about $10,000 total invested, not including dividend gains and not including growth. So let's jump into it. We'll just go through where we're at overall and how it's performing. So as you can see by the day, it has definitely jumped up a lot. Here is by the week. So this past week it's jumped up about $439, almost 8%. That's which is crazy right now. The stock market is just insane right now. For the month, we're up $727. So we're up about 13%. Again, I started this portfolio back in February of this year, and I really started investing when the market took a downturn back in March until today. So I'm going to continue investing. So let's look at 3 months. We're at 805. So almost about 15% that this portfolio has grown, and this is just growth. This isn't any dividends. It's very little dividends, but most of this is just growth. And then we're at the 1 year mark, again, about 13%. And we'll just do all, it's about $715 so far that we've grown. So if you deduct that, $700, I'm a little bit around, 54 to 5,500 that I have invested so far in the portfolio. And I'm going to continue doing that. As you can see, it's really grown. Again, I started this portfolio as a test around right when the market started to go down. And I've really been putting a lot in. I'm definitely going to scale back a little bit now since the market has adjusted some. And I'm just going to do the cash dollar investing, cash dollar averaging investing on this portfolio. Just a certain amount to make sure that I hit the 10,000 goal by the end of the month. So it's most likely probably going to be like 200 every 2 weeks or something like that. That was the original goal that I had. But when the stocks went down, I decided to put a few big chunks or purchases in here. So let's jump into the actual portfolio. So right now, the cash balance, that's just what I have in the actual cash account. That's not going towards that's not invested in stocks. So try to keep that number low. So try not to keep any cash in here, period. Occasionally there'll be like under $10 or something in here. So, all right. So the first stock I have here is Realty Income. So you can see, again, this stock has jumped up about almost $2 today. So 3%. But if we look at this stock, how it's performed over, let's just say the last 3 months, it's still down $10.62. So for where it was at the high of this year. So if we look at for the actual year, we're still down about $8 here. So you can see this is when the high of it was around February. So around here, February 21st, sorry, you see it was at $82, and then it just took a huge dive. So when it started to dive, that's when I started to buy a majority of the stock that I have here with Realty Income. As you can see, it's slowly starting to go up. It's not even, still not close to where it was. But if you go in here, I have 11 shares here. So I have a total market value here of $707. It's about 11% of my portfolio. Average cost of the stock that I have is about $58. As you can see, today's return, I had $21 return just from today, but total return is about $65. So it's about 10% so far. And that's just the gains of the portfolio since I bought it when the stock was at a lower price. Um, Again, this is just, you can just see the analysis of it. So that's why I like Robinhood. It's pretty easy to use, give a pretty good analysis, give news and stuff on the stock as well. And we'll go into how much I've made on dividends so far with the year. As you can see, I have some pending later this month. This actually pays out a monthly dividend, but I'll go through how much I've made thus far with dividends towards the end of the video. All right, so the next stock here I have is Ford Motor. I have, again, about 27 shares of Ford Motor. So it's about a $210 market value here. If we look at the 1 year here, Ford is still down a couple of dollars from what it was over the last year. It's still down quite a bit. So again, I bought the stock up here. So it looks like it had its high just around the last year. Had a pretty big high of about $10. So right now it's still down a few dollars. Again, you can see where it dipped here. Let's go down some. Dipped here in March. I took advantage and bought some stock there. So you can see the average. I have about 28 shares here. The reason it's not a whole number is because this portfolio, this is a dividend stock. So some dividend have been used to repurchase stock, and then you can do fractional shares with Robinhood. You don't have to purchase a full stock. A fractional share is basically you can purchase a percentage of a stock. So right now the average cost that I have is about $6.12. It's only about 3.4% of my portfolio. As you can see, total return here, it's about 40, almost $40, $39.30, about a 23% gain here. Let's go back to the net stock. So the next one I have here is Disney. So Disney right now is sitting at 127. If we just look at for the last 3 months, it's up $19. If we look at it for the last year, it's down about $11 from its high. Within the last year, its high was around $151 back in November. If we look at right before the market went down, it was at 138, and then Disney dropped all the way down to like $80 here. So again, I started buying majority of my Disney stock here. I only have about 5 shares of it. The average cost is about 117. I've been buying it over the last few months. So you can see it's only about 10% of my portfolio. Market value that I have is about $635 in Disney. And the total return is about $49 right now. It's almost about $50 here. Disney did suspend its dividend stock, so it's not paying out dividends. But I think Disney's going to turn around and going to come back. So that's why I started to buy the stock. And again, once things open back up, I still think Disney will be huge profit. As of right now, cool thing, the NBA playoffs are actually going to be at Disney World, and plus with Disney Plus and other things that they have going on, I still think it's a good stock. And again, this is a long-term play for me with Disney. But let's go to the next one. So right now is Microsoft. So Microsoft right now today is about $188. If we look at it from the 1 year perspective, again, it hit its high within the last year, really has been taken off until March, and then it just took the dive when everything went down. So it went down to about 130, 135. Again, with Microsoft, this is a dividend paying stock. So I have about 4 shares with Microsoft, and I bought just over the time that I bought, it's about $170 average cost that I have with Disney. Total return so far is about $71, so about 10.5% with Disney so far. And then I have some dividend payment pending there. All right, so the next one we have here is Nike. So I'm a big sneakerhead and I buy a lot of shoes. So definitely what I've been trying to do here with the Nike, kind of my investment strategy is if I buy a pair of sneakers, I'm trying to buy at least the one stock, or if I can, buy the equal value of stock that I paid for the shoes. So let's go here and look here at Nike stock. So within the last year, Nike hit about 104.58. So it's actually pretty close to where it's at. It's actually up $20. So if we go back to last June, it's actually up from where it was last year by $20. But you can see here Nike took a big drop as well, dropped down to $60 range. Again, I bought majority of this when it was lower. So you can see I have 10 shares of Nike stock here. And, total market value of $1,000. It's about 16, almost 17% of my portfolio. The average cost that I bought it was at $86. As you can see, pretty big return so far, about 21%. So I have about $180 in returns here with the Nike stock. So as you can see, that's done pretty well. But if, like I said, I have a pretty big sneaker collection. Some I resell and some I keep. But if I would have started investing with sneakers when I started buying with sneakers, probably would have been a huge return thus far. But we'll continue to monitor and see how that goes. So the next one here I have is ExxonMobil. If we look at ExxonMobil for the last year, it's actually down compared to what it was a year ago. As you can see, ExxonMobil was starting to drop anyway before the crash, and then it just dropped here down to $32. Anyway, it has a pretty good history with dividend track record, so that's why I invested in ExxonMobil. Although my partner, she's getting on to me because she wanted me to invest in renewable energy. So I don't know. We'll see. I may have to change my strategy on Exxon, but for now, I have about 7 shares in there, a total market value of $383. The average cost is about $44. It's only about 6% of my portfolio, and so far I'm up $71, so about a 23% return so far over the last few months. The next one here is Bank of America. So I have a lot of my some of my personal accounts with Bank of America. So I bank with them, so I figured I would support them. I'm trying to go by here with my strategy so far. It's just companies that I like and support, but also have a good dividend track record. So if we look at Bank of America for the last year, so according to last year, it's actually up as of today, but it had pretty big high before everything started to crash, and it dropped all the way down to like $16. So let's see here. So have a dividend come out with that as well. So about 11 shares of it, $314 total market. Average cost, I paid about $22. It's only about 5% of my portfolio. And so far I have about a 25% return on that. So about $62 on Microsoft. Sorry, on Bank of America. The next one I have is GE. GE, they suspended their dividends. They're no longer paying it out. Actually, it's like down to a penny per stock. So I guess I could at some point. I'm up on it, so I'll just keep the GE stock for now. It's at 23 shares. About at 622. It's only about 4% of my portfolio. Again, it's about a 38% return. Not bad. I may get rid of this at some point, but we'll see. It's not a huge part of my portfolio, so I'll just leave it there. But it probably won't be. We'll see how it does by the end of the year. But I probably won't be investing actively into GE for a while. All right, and now let's go to the PowerShares S&P 500. So this is a high dividend, low volatility stock. So right now, if we look at it for the last year, it's down about $4. If you see around the house, about 43. It dropped all the way down to $28. I think the average cost that I have here is 6 shares. I just recently got started buying this stock. So I have about 6 shares, about $225 market value. The average cost is about $33.58. 3.65% of my portfolio, and a return of about 12% so far with this. And last but not least, we have is Apple. So Apple, if we look at it for the last year, it's actually up $140. We're actually in Apple's high right now for the last year. So that is good. So it's up $1.96 for today. If we go in, I have about 5 shares of Apple, market value of $16.63. Average cost is about $317.56, so it's about 26%, 27% of my portfolio, at about a $75, about almost a 5% return. But actually, with Apple here, so I actually had these 5 shares of Apple stock that I actually purchased a few years ago. So I actually got in at a lot lower rate here. So I just recently I had these in another investment account. I wanted to get my investment portfolio under 2 accounts. So I have one in Robinhood and I have one in M1 Finance. But since this was a dividend stock, I just pulled this stock over here to Robinhood. So actually, I'm up a lot more on this Apple stock. I just wanted to bring this stock over here so it's easier for me to track, and it could be with my other stocks. So that's it on Apple. If we go into the account here, and then we go in and we look at account activity, we can go in and I'll show you guys how much I've made just on dividends so far. So if we come in, like I say, Realty Income, you'll see here that's the one that does every single month. Again, so I really started investing here towards after everything went down in March. So I had a few in here from January and February, but not very many. So you guys can see how much that I've made so far with dividend stocks. So not very much that have come in from dividends. So have a little bit more that are coming in here from dividends. So it's not really a huge growth so far with dividends, but eventually over time that will continue to grow. I will continue to add more stocks to the portfolio, and it will continue to compound in order to get that dividend number up. As you can see, it's already, if you look at it from the earlier months compared to now, you can already see that more are starting to come in dividend wise as opposed to what was recently coming in. So I'll continue to do updated videos and give you guys an update of how the stock is performing, how the dividends are performing with the stock. If you guys are with, if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comment section. If you guys are interested in getting started with investing with Robinhood, I will drop my link down below. If you sign up, you'll get a free stock. With the app, I'll get a free stock as well if you use my link. You can get one all the way up from a low one like Ford all the way up to a high one like Apple. It's just a random pool that they do. But if you're first time and you want to get signed up, might as well click the link, get a free stock. Again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you haven't subscribed to the video, if you made it to the end, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this with anyone that you may find helpful. Again, I'll see you guys on the next video.